third graders, it's Miss Street here with you, and today we're going to be talking about fractions, which is huge in third grade. I hope you got to watch the first and second grade videos about geometry, because what first and second grade does in their geometry standards helps build the foundation for what you guys have to do with fractions, and fourth grade and fifth grade too. So it's very important. I want you guys to know that last night I did a Zoom meeting. I don't know if you know what Zoom is. You've probably heard about it. It was like a Google Hangout, or where I met with two teachers that are like, they're really great teachers. I met with Miss Stephanie Rowland from PG Elementary. She's working on fifth grade fractions, or fifth grade math for the Facebook Live channel. And I met with Jennifer Reel, who teaches fourth and fifth grade at Old Fort Elementary. And we met because we wanted to be sure that what we explain in our fractions, we want to use the same language and make sure we're on the same page. And they even listened to me talk about what I was going to be doing with second grade and first grade and kindergarten, and how everything builds. And so they gave me some great ideas. So later on today, you're going to see those ladies if you have a fourth or fifth grader. So I encourage you to watch what they do as well. I'm going to be tuning in because they're awesome, and I am honored to be one of their colleagues. So before we get started with our Subitizing, I would like to share Miss Street was outside earlier, and I tried, but I don't know that the internet connection was very good outside, and also my allergies have started, so my throat's kind of, and I want to make that sound, you know. But it's okay. I can be inside too. It's okay. So, but third grade, we want to be sure that we understand about quantity and magnitude. Quantity is the actual amount of something. Magnitude is the relative size or amount as compared to something else. For instance, and I've done this all videos this morning, so everybody's got the same content with this part. So I asked Zeb if he would like a Kit Kat bar, and he's like, yeah. And I'm like, here you go. He's like, thanks. And I said, Jesse, here's you a Kit Kat bar. How do you think that went over? Not too good. Why? This is one Kit Kat bar, and this is one Kit Kat bar. They have the same quantity, but they have a different magnitude. This even goes into kindergarten standards with measurement and data. Bigger, smaller. So, of course, the kiddos would want the bigger Kit Kat bar because there's more chocolate, right? For sure. So, we're going to use that a little bit in our lesson, but we're also going to talk about a garden. Raise your hand if you have a garden at your house. I mean, I'm raising my hand to show you to raise your hand. I don't have a garden because Miss Street doesn't do well with things like that. Plants die around me, but that's okay. I mean, that's why I have fake plants. See, watch. This is one of my plants, and I really like it because it won't die. Okay. We're going to subitize. Are you ready? So you guys are conceptually subitizing within 0 to 12. And Miss Street's showing you with these that you can see it different ways. It doesn't always have to be the same way. And that's huge with fractions. So we got to keep all these things in mind. And Miss Street's going to work hard to try to make those connections for you every time I'm with you. I'm going to try really hard to help you see the connections and everything that we're learning. So the song we're going to play is called Wild Pogo. Please work. I've had problems. Oh. Ooh. That sounds like some 80s. Here we go. What is the value? All right. What's the value here? What is this value? What is this value? Did you see the double? How are these values the same? The order of the dots doesn't matter. This is the kindergarten standard Miss Street was doing. Well, this is not kindergarten. Let me rephrase. This is a lot harder. But when we were outside doing kindergarten standard OA3, they were seeing that you can have the same quantity but different magnitudes of Easter eggs. Some Easter eggs had candy in them and some didn't. This is focusing on doubles for 12. Did you get that? Let me show you one more time. So that's 6 plus 6. 5 plus 5 is a double plus 2 more. And here we had 9 plus 3, which that's not a double, but. And then here we had, oh, come on, Miss Street. We had 3 and 9. All right, let's try it again. Are you ready? What's the value? We'll get ready. Are all those values the same? Yeah, they were all 8. And that just goes to show we can make 8 in many different ways. So keep practicing. This morning, Miss Street did some with Easter eggs, subitizing outside with Easter eggs. So that's something you guys can do as you play outside with your brother, sister, cousins, uncle, aunts, I said brother, grandma, grandpa, I don't know, all your friends. You can use Easter eggs we are practicing social distancing, so, be mindful of that. But to show these subitizing problems that we did. So I encourage you to do that. That's what we did this morning. So, 3rd graders, fractions. Are you ready to rumble? Okay, so we are going to look at fractions. And we're going to be on this standard for quite a while, because there's lots of different unit fractions that you guys work with. You work with halves, fourths, thirds, sixths, and eighths. So there's a lot going on there. Today we're just going to be basic about it, and I'm going to start with our Kit Kat bar. Give me a break, give me a break, break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Well, how much do you want? Let's look. Did you say the whole thing? No. I know. I mean, Miss Street can open this. I'm sure I can. The one great thing about our Kit Kat bar is that it is already partitioned for us into how many equal parts. Do you see? We got 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, and 4/4. So we have 4 equal parts for the Kit Kat bar. Let me show you. Let's turn it this way. There we go. So here you can see we have 1/4 of the Kit Kat bar, 2/4, which 2/4 would be the same thing as half of the Kit Kat bar, 3/4 of the Kit Kat bar, and 4/4 make one whole entire Kit Kat bar. So we want to keep these things in mind as we're talking about fractions and unit fractions. So we're going to get into one little problem here, and then I'm going to ask you to work on something for me, okay? So this is a boy named Ben. Do you know anybody named Ben? I'm thinking, I don't know if I know anybody named Ben. But Ben is drawing plans for his new backyard. He wants to partition his yard into thirds. 1/3 will be a garden. 1/3 of the yard will be grass, and 1/3 will be a pool. Whoa! Show one way Ben could partition his backyard. And then how can you prove that your drawing is equally partitioned into thirds? So let's take a look at this one. Thirds is a really hard fraction to do, and I know it. But when we try to do thirds, I'm going to draw another rectangle up here so you can see two different ways. So when we partition into thirds, we can partition vertically or we can partition horizontally. So let's look. And we have to really use our magnitude, our size. We have to really try to see equally what 1/3 would be just with our eyes. We really don't need a measuring tape or anything like that. So I'm going to go about right here. That's a good try. It's not perfect, but I can see that this is 1/3, this is 1/3, and this is 1/3. Okay? Here I could divide this rectangle with the horizontal lines. This is not perfect, and again, that is okay. So this is a third, this is a third, and this is a third of a whole garden. So let's look. Ben wants to, he wants 1/3 of his garden, 1/3 to be, this is his backyard. I keep saying garden. So this is his backyard. He wants 1/3 to be a garden. So I'm going to color 1/3 red. Okay? And I can do, it doesn't matter which third is the garden. I'm going to do this one for the garden. Okay? Then he wants 1/3 of the yard to be grass. So I'm going to color a third green. The grass, and I'm going to put the grass right here. Okay. Then he wants 1/3 to be a pool. That sounds like fun. So I'm going to use a blue for the pool. So again, I'm just showing you two different ways that you can partition. We can partition horizontally like this, or we could partition, that's vertical, and horizontal like this. So this is one way we can show. A question says, how can you prove that your drawing is equally partitioned into thirds? How can we prove that? Because each unit fraction has the same amount. Is there another way we could look at that? We tried to do each part in equal, each third is equivalent to every other third. So that's one way. This is like what we call the area model, okay? I also want to show you the length model, and that is basically just using a number line. So here I went ahead, I've got my 0 because 0 has a value, don't forget, 0 to 1. So if I were going to show Ben's backyard and I wanted to show that 1/3 was a garden, let's look here. Let's count our equal parts that we have in between. Here's 1, 2, 3 equal parts. So if I know that he wants 1/3 to be a garden, I can shade in this much right here. Can you see that? Not really, but that's okay. That's all I got. But I'll do this with black. So that's 1/3, or I can even write garden. So from here to here is the garden, okay? And then he wants 1/3 to be grass. So again, it's the same equal part, equal value, same value, same magnitude. So that's 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, and 1/3 to be a pool. And I'll just do that with black because I don't have a blue one. So that would make 1/3. But if we look at it too, we could say, well, we know 1/3 of his garden, 1/3 of his backyard is a garden. Another third is grass, so that's 2/3 of his yard. And another third is a pool. So that's 3/3 of the backyard, and that equals 1 entire yard. Okay, so we're going to work on this some more tomorrow. I'm going to get us some more examples, and I hope you guys can practice this at home, and either with a candy bar or with make up your own design for your garden, or for your backyard. I'm sorry. It says, how many other ways could Ben partition his yard? He could partition it into fourths, sixths, and eighths. And what could the different partitions be? I would love for you to comment and share a picture of what you come up with. And I will see you tomorrow. Enjoy this beautiful day.